everyone, and welcome to another episode of BS Drunk Movie Reviews. This is a weekly podcast, and we do upload the video version to our YouTube channel. So if you'd like to see these beautiful faces, log on and watch. Hit the like and subscribe button. My name is Vetta, and as always, I am joined by my brother Matt.
Hi, you guys.
On this episode, we are going to be talking about Hocus Pocus.
Yay! Because it's Halloween month.
Right? It's October.
Woo woo!
Spooky time.
Spooky.
I just put up all my Halloween decorations, and I'm pretty sure when the Amazon guy drops off, he's like, why is there so much creepy shit all over this house? I'm like, because it's spooky time.
Right on. Yeah, I don't put up decorations anymore. We only get like 2 trick-or-treaters.
Oh, I've never had a trick-or-treater in the 20 years I've lived
Really?
in the house.
Oh, don't you find that a waste of money?
We stopped a couple of years ago, but I would put like $20 in an envelope and tape it to the door and said, if you walked all the way up to my house, I don't have candy, but go buy yourself some.
Oh,
no one's ever taken it. I even thought my kids would get smart and run back to the house before me to grab the $20.
Gotcha. Yeah, no. We do get trick-or-treaters, but it's always like at like 11 o'clock at night. And I'm all like, oh, fuck you. I'm going to bed. So okay.
So today the whole month we are doing Halloween spooky scary movies.
Right on.
And we've decided to start with a staple that should be in everyone's Halloween.
A classic.
Movie, right? From 1993, Hocus Pocus.
You're ancient. Did you see this movie when it came out?
I did. I'm fucking old.
In the theaters?
I saw it at Studio 28.
Oh my God, I loved Studio 28. Yep. They tore that thing down. I loved it so much.
And I did I was going with friends, quote unquote. And it was a group. What was I? It was either the end of my freshman year or the beginning of my sophomore year. I can't remember. It was like right around there. And I did the whole, Mom, so-and-so and so and I, we're going to go to the movies. And we met boys. Whole group boy-girl movie thing that we do, that middle schoolers, people who can't drive. Middle schoolers and high schoolers who don't have a license. It's what
right
they
on.
do. And went and seen this.
Yeah.
It was great.
Lucky.
I loved it. Yeah, I'm old.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
I'm old too, if that makes you feel better. You're just older. So
by half a decade.
Right on. What are you drinking tonight?
So I am doing a Dirty Shirley.
Nice.
Yes. I did not do like you did in your Dirty Shirley and add 37 maraschino cherries to the bottom.
I ended up making the right mixture. I just that first time I was all
the full cup of vodka.
Full cup. In my defense, I'm really bad at math. In my defense, which I don't know if that's a defense. I
didn't have cups at all.
I was just like, I have a cup that's 1/2, so 2 + 2 is 4.
He's like, I'm just gonna eyeball it. It's fine.
Right on. So
well, and the whole time when you were finishing the last wig and I saw the whole bottom of your glass was covered in maraschino cherries. I was like, did he eat the whole container? Because you can get drunk from eating the whole container of maraschino cherries.
No, I kept after I would take a sip, I kept adding like soda and the grenadine, because I was like, if I keep adding this stuff after every sip, then it'll eventually pan out. But it was a lot of vodka with a spritz of everything else.
He did a whole cup of vodka with just a little. I'm gonna tilt the bottle. Oh, it's touched it. I'm done.
Right on.
That's enough grenadine and enough.
Right, yeah, just the tip. I'm drinking wine like normal. We have a bottle of Witch's Brew but I would have had to have heated it up, and I didn't feel like doing that. I'm lazy, so I was just like, no, I'll wait for the next one. No, I'll heat up the witch's brew.
Will you though?
Probably not. I just opened this bottle with a cork. There was no no extra stuff. Okay, let's dive into this movie.
So, do you have any dislikes?
First off, I just want to say that I love this movie. I just love it. Like I have no dislikes, by the way. I don't have any dislikes. Sorry.
No, this is a year-round movie. It does not need to be spooky month to watch this movie. It is good in July, February. You could watch it on Valentine's Day and you will still be happy.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, because there's a love story. There's a love story in there.
Right. Yeah. Got a little something for everybody.
Yeah. You can watch this on Women's Day because sisterhood, right? I'm just saying.
Watch it on Siblings Day.
You could watch this on Pet Day. There is
got a cat.
Yeah, you could watch this on National Zombie Day. I don't know if that's a thing, but if there is, you could watch it that day. This movie fits all categories.
It follows all occasion. You could even watch it on National Pretzel Day because the cat gets ran over, and I feel like that's a pretzel moment. I don't know.
Sure. Listen, I feel like we could rationale where you could watch it every day of the year. So, I have to say, while watching this movie, that Winifred she's a zinger. I'll tell you that. She has the best lines.
She does. And the lipstick painted lips are my favorite. I love those. And her teeth being so huge. The overbite is such a great touch. I just love Winifred.
Yeah, she's great. I love the first line when she opens up the window. She's like, "Ah, what a beautiful morning. Makes me sick."
I actually wrote same because I was like, there are so many days that I get up and I'm like, oh, it's such a glorious morning.
Right. Yeah. I wrote down the next line I wrote down was when he's like, when Zachary Binks goes in to save his sister, and he's like, "You hag," and she's like, "Oh, sisters, did you hear what he called you?" I'm like, that is so a move I would pull. What?
How dare he hurts my feelings.
Yeah, no, I would so be like that. Be like, did you hear that? He just called you ugly.
There are so many great little zingers that she has the whole time. Like, I love after she comes out of the kiln and, you know, when they get lured into the kiln because they're listening to the librarian tape going, would you like to check out a book? And then she says it in French.
Me encantan las mujeres hermosas.
And then when Renifred comes out of the kiln,
yeah, she's like, salí con una nana y no me gustó.
Yeah.
No, I loved it.
Just like, there's no such things with this movie.
Yeah, there's no dislikes. No.
So we're gonna go straight to likes. So all I want to hear were your favorite parts of this movie.
What was that? Likes?
Your favorite part.
I don't know. Cat's got my tongue. Ah!
Okay, so I'm gonna start off telling you. So this movie came out in 1993. I think it was like 15. Maybe I was actually 15 when it came out. I wasn't quite 16. I had the hugest crush on Thackeray Binks. I was like, oh my God, he's so cute.
Oh, the little chubby kid?
No, the brother of Emily who gets.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. The cat.
Like the 1966 Fear Street guy.
Right on.
Yeah, I just remember.
You had a crush on him?
I did. Not the brother. The brother was ugly. He was like, yeah, well, not just that, but he was dumb. Just a stupid asshole. He was kind of an asshole in certain points.
Oh, yeah.
A super dick to Danny.
Vetta, we all know Halloween was created by the candy companies to make money. I mean, come on.
No, it actually dates back to All Hallows Eve.
I'm going to do this all episode, by the way. I mean, what are you supposed to be? A new kid on the block?
One of my favorite scenes in the beginning is when he gives Allison his number, but then when she's walking outside she's like trick or treat and hands him a folded piece of paper, and she literally hands him back the piece of paper with his own number on it.
Right on.
I was like, oh,
No.
she's amazing. Like,
Snap.
right?
That's the equivalent of ghosting you, fucker, in the 90s.
The only thing that would have been better if she would have given the local humane society number. Like, do you remember when that was a thing, or are you too young for that?
No, I mean, there's still humane societies out there.
No, but when I was like in high school, like when you would go out places and somebody would ask you for your number, that was the big thing, was to learn by memory the local humane society number, and you would just give that to guys.
Yeah, I'm too young for that. I have no idea what you're talking about. I thought you were trying to say like
my friends and I did.
Oh, gotcha. I thought you were trying to say there's no such thing as humane societies anymore. I'm like, no, those are still a thing.
That old.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I just kept writing down great lines from this movie. It was so good. But one thing I did write down was like, I wrote down the costumes. The witches have the best costumes in this movie. Like, they're so good.
And obviously Winifred's is the best because she has like the striped socks.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
are like iconic till this day. When people dress up for Halloween, they get the striped witches socks. Like, amazing.
Yeah. And then yeah, I was just I wrote down when Sarah's all like, "You're always right," and she's like, "Yes, that's my curse, and you too." I was like, "Oh, ain't that the truth, Winifred?"
Every oldest sibling ever.
Yeah, and then and I like how ice, which is a bad thing now, was all like.
90s, that was a big thing to have like names and words shaved in the back of your head. And that's my whole thing, is like, okay, I get you liked his shoes, but did you really need to steal them and wear them?
Yeah,
like, I remember when kids' shoes would get like stolen, or they would take off their shoes, they would throw them over the power lines. They wouldn't actually be worn by
I don't understand that either. I don't understand either one of those. I don't understand stealing people's shoes, but whatever.
No.
I mean, what am I supposed to do all day? I don't know. Maybe you could learn to breathe through your nose.
I love his parents when he came running through, and his mom's all, "What happened to his shoes?" And his dad's like, "Maybe it's a sign of protest." And I'm like, yeah, because that's what he's gonna choose.
Yeah, exactly.
Wear shoes.
Yeah, and weren't they like Nikes? That shit was expensive in the 90s. You can't just. If that was our mom, she'd be like, "Where the hell are your shoes?"
Our mom would have tied us to a chair and interrogated us, like waterboarding and everything.
Right. Somebody took your shoe. Who? We're gonna hunt them down.
And then if we didn't give her the proper answer, she'd been up to school waterboarding the principal.
Right. Yeah.
Our shoes are.
Right on. One question I did have while watching this movie. Okay, so it says that Zachary Binks is like 300 years, or not Zachary Binks, that Billy, the zombie, is 300 years old. Why is he not a skeleton? How is he just a zombie?
Because I don't know. Did they maybe embalm people? Well, they didn't really embalm people back then.
Yeah, they didn't embalm.
So because when they cut open his mouth, all that stuff comes out when he breathes.
Moths, which I found out real quick. I found out because I was looking through some fun facts. Hold on, I wrote it down. I just gotta find it. Okay, did you know that those moths in his mouth are real moths, and they had to have a moth trainer on the set? And I was like, there's such things as moth trainers. What's going on here? I found my new calling. Yeah,
it's literally a job for everything. That's what that tells you right there.
Yeah, I was like,
can't find a job.
Yeah,
they haven't looked hard enough.
What do you do for a living? I'm a moth trainer.
But my whole thing is like, was he more of mummified rather than?
The only thing I could rationale was
because it's because of the spell
that's what I said, because she poisoned him, and that's the only. I was like, maybe she put in a potion. And it made him all not so skeletal. It made him zombified.
Zombie. Billy.
I also love. So okay, well, I wrote this down while when they go to the school, and she's all like, "This is a school," or "This is a school," and she's like, "It's a prison for children." I was like, truer words have never been spoken, Winifred.
like, aren't those interchangeable? High school and children, same.
I was like, oh yeah, I never dropped the soap in school either, Winifred. I'll tell you that. So
you showered at school?
No, I wasn't brave enough. So I'm listen, Vetta, listen, there's one thing that I know. Okay.
Oh, tell me, enlighten me, little brother.
Daylight savings time.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan of Max. He's probably my least favorite character in all of this, but he did have some pretty good, lines like, I will summon the acid rain.
The acid rain of death, because like the acid rain of death, the acid rain of death.
And he like, and I love when he lights the fire with the Zippo, because I feel like that would be me. I'm not gonna lie, I probably despise Max because he is my most relatable character in this, like super lame teenager who has like, one-liners that go nowhere, and finds the Zippo and decides to pocket it, like,
right.
And he's all, ooh, and they're like, oh, he makes fire in his hand.
Right on. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. Earlier when I said that line where I was like, Vetta, there's one thing that I know. I was hoping you would be like, oh, really? And what is that, dude?
I did like when Winifred said that.
But it's fine. You didn't know what I was doing there, but that's fine. That's fine. Anyways, one thing, I love their calming circle. And Winifred, I am calm, sister. Thou art being honest with thyself. I was like, oh, that's so me. I'm so not a calm person. I'm like,
but then when you listen to their calming circle, I'm like, those are not things that would calm me.
Right. Yeah, right. I know all they're doing is like walking around in a circle, and they're like, I don't know, chanting or some shit. And I was like, that would annoy me also.
I did like every time they talked about their mother, they would stop.
Mother. I loved both musical numbers in this movie. I mean, obviously the one where Bette Midler sings is better, but I love both of them. When Sarah sings, like, I used to sing that all the time as a kid.
Yes.
And I used to, do the little hand motions that she's doing. People that are listening to our podcast can't see my hand motions.
But she's on the broom flying above all the little children in the town, and she's all like wavy and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I loved both those musical numbers. I used to sing them all the time.
What else did you like?
Oh, I mean, I liked everything. Okay, so one thing, I had to go back and I had to look it up, because when Billy, the zombie, is all like, wrench, twallop. and then he goes, hold on, I wrote it down. He goes,
mouth open, because Winifred sewed his mouth
but he goes
with a dull needle. Like, right. They specified it was dull.
Right on. So the last line he says is, you black tooth. And this is what I thought he said. He goes, you black tooth muff riding firefly from hell. And I was like, is Winifred a lesbian?
Okay, now what did he really say since you went back?
I didn't write down the real words, what it really is.
This is so much better.
Because I was like, did he say a muff rider? I was like, that's an interesting concept right there, that Winifred was gay.
1960s or 1600 twist to it. That, like,
I was like, that's so interesting. Prequel. Anyways.
That's a bow chicka bow.
Oh yeah, I'd watch that for sure.
Not a Disney.
There's probably a porn parody out there of this. I just gotta.
I'll put that on your research list, not mine.
What about you? What else are the things that you really liked about this movie?
I like how they she was all like, my mom used to be the curator at the Sanderson Sister Museum, and they went to break into it. So apparently this museum has been closed so long. They've, not removed anything, but there's so much fucking cobwebs and dust. Like, they're having to do the blow things off, and skate and, and claw through the cobwebs. And I'm like, when was she the curator?
Right.
1982?
Right.
Like,
Yeah. And I love how they left all the candy in the shop and everything. I was like, ew.
like, I just feel like when the museum shut down, they would have taken out the postcards, the candy, the Zippo lighters. They
Right.
probably would have left the art, but I say they might have left the artifacts, but then I go, wait, they might have secured the artifacts.
Right.
Okay.
So, okay.
What the hell? Explain this to me, though. I do have one question for you.
Yeah, go ahead. I have questions for you.
What the hell is the fat of a hung man? Like, what part of the man does it come from? Like on a pig, the pork belly comes from a certain area, the ham, the bacon. Where the fuck does the fat of a hung man come from?
Well, there are two options to this question by the word hung. Okay. But
they said hang. Did they said the fat?
Okay. Well, I'm going to, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'm going to go with the fact that he was hung by a noose. Dirty, you little dirty Shirley. Anyways, so, I mean, I'm assuming like after he's been hanging for a hot minute, they just cut off the fat from wherever. I don't know.
Is it like that dad bod belly thing?
I guess so.
For some reason, all like young girls are totally into totally into a dad bod. I'm like, is that the part they took for the fat of a hung man? I'm like, because you remember when we were kids, that wasn't called a dad bod, that was called a beer belly.
Right. Right on. Okay, I have some questions for you.
Okay.
So there's supposed to be a sequel coming out to Hocus Pocus 2. Are you excited about that?
I am, but I'm scared.
What are you scared about?
They're gonna fuck it up.
Well, yeah, but more specific. What are you scared they're gonna fuck up?
So are they gonna bring back the Sanderson sisters, the original?
Yes.
So I go, how are they going to redo this story? Because the Sanderson sisters, it's going to be the same story, because they're all about the children and the looking young and living for eternity. And how are they bringing them back? Their curse was only set for the virgin lighting the candle of black flame.
Well, when I talk to the screenwriters next week, I'll ask them.
Could you ask them to stop by so we could just have a group little powwow here?
Yeah, for sure.
Share it with the fans.
I don't know. I read something on a rumor that there's a fourth Sanderson sister, and that's the sister that brings them back. But that was just a rumor, so I don't know if that's true or not.
Let's hope it stays a rumor.
Like it's a fourth sister that's been alive the whole time, kind of thing.
Like she never died in the hanging? Like,
yeah, like she left them before they died, and then she raises them back from the dead.
Oh, I could kind of see how that would work, but I don't like it.
Right. Well, the original thing was that Tina Fey was supposed to make her own Hocus Pocus movie, but it wasn't supposed to be a sequel. It was supposed to be like a reboot kind of thing.
Wouldn't you prefer if it was a brother?
Honestly, I don't care. I just want to see these women on
Are they going to bring back Danny and Max and Allison?
From what I understand from the whole thing, they only have the three ladies back as the Sanderson sisters. I don't know if they're bringing back the other people that were in the movie. I hope they do.
I kind of feel like it should be like children, maybe, of Danny, Allison, or Danny, like one of them.
I'm fine with that.
Because I feel like Winifred is so, blinders on focus. She'd be like, oh no, I gotta still fuck this Max kid up because he ruined my life. He turned me into stone, and then I blew up into oblivion.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So,
what was your my other question is who's your favorite Sanderson sister?
I'm torn. You're
torn?
I am.
Nothing's right, I'm torn. I'm all out of faith. Anyways, go ahead.
Well, I love Winifred. Don't get me wrong.
Gotta pick one.
Absolutely. Hold on. I wrote it down. You might have to. You might have to edit this out. Yeah. And my list. Oh, okay. I'm good. All right. Ask me again.
Okay, so my other question is, who is your favorite Sanderson sister?
Mary.
Mary, is that the fat one?
Yes.
Oh, gotcha. Why is
Her lip is like this the whole time. And I'm like, she gets super good because try talking like that. That is super hard to just sit and talk like this and sound normal. It doesn't work.
I feel like that actress made a choice.
She committed and held it the whole time. And she had some of the good lines. She was the calming circle sister. She's like, Winifred, you are not being true to yourself.
Thou aren't being honest with thyself.
So, yeah. And I love when she gets stuck with the vacuum when they lose their brooms to the little mini Sanderson sister trick-or-treaters. And she's on the broom and Billy and Billy and Allison and Danny, I think it is, grab the cord to the vacuum. I'm like, that is amazing. And I love how when Sarah is at the asphalt road and she's like, it's a black river. And they
real quick, I totally thought you said she's at the asshole road. I was like, what are you thinking about? That porn parody, huh? Anyways, the asphalt road.
Asphalt road, the Black River, as they refer to. Both Mary and Winifred lean behind Sarah and give each other a look, and then they push her forward. I love when Mary is in the quote unquote master's house and she's watching the TV and clicking and she's just watching. You remember that commercial with the baby in the walkers?
Oh yeah, that was a real commercial.
That was a legit commercial. And she is just like, and I love how every now and then she's like, I smell children. And then she's like, that's not the child. Or she's like, I smell children, but it's not working. They're all ghouls. And it's
yeah, my favorite Sarah.
Yeah.
I love Sarah.
Yeah, I get that. She's my number 2. I mean, I do love Winifred as well. She's got great writers, but Sarah's super ditzy.
Yeah, well, I think Winifred, she's got the best lines, but she's really bitchy. Like she's always
she's totally an asshole.
You're like, hey Winnie, like calm the fuck down, okay? All right, calm down, sweetheart.
Maybe if you remove that stick from your ass, you might have actually lived through the night.
Yeah, and maybe Billy wouldn't have cheated.
Right. Billy wouldn't have cheated. Yeah.
So,
or even the bus driver. She was super pissed off at the bus driver when he was eyeing up Sarah as well.
Yeah. Man, how come it's always the ugly chicks that stay out at night? Chicks. All righty.
So, I'm going to say we've covered probably the first half of the movie pretty well. What are some other likes you had? What did you no, better question. What did you think of Danny and Max's parents?
I thought they were bad parents.
Horrible parents.
They're bad parents. First off, they went out partying all night. What kind of a parent are you? Like, listen, I get it that he was a high schooler, but so
and when he came to you concerned, frightened, and scared, you would laugh at him and kept dancing.
Yeah. And I love how they like stopped everything they were doing to listen to Winifred sing a song. And I'm all like, hey guys, listen, my kids are creeped out. We're going to go home. Okay. Have fun. Dying.
They were like, we're enjoying the city hall party.
Yeah. Which didn't seem all that great to me, if we're being honest. Like
I'm pretty sure it was one of those nerdy ass parties where they had a costume winner, best costume, best couple costume.
And let's be honest, before Winifred showed up, the band wasn't exactly awe-inspiring, if you get what I'm saying. No,
he spent more time on his makeup than he did his singing.
I was like, don't get me wrong, you guys are fine, but you know, daddy needs some bump and grind music, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, you gotta remember, it was the 90s, so early 90s.
Yeah, that's more your era than mine.
Okay, just because I was in high school in the early 90s doesn't mean that was my era.
What are you talking about? That is totally your era.
No, I feel like high school. Are you telling me the best times of your life and the years that defined you were high school?
Well, the years that define you are in high school.
No, they're not.
What are you talking about?
I just feel like high school does not define you. I didn't figure out who I was till college, but potato. When you figure out who you are, that's your choice. But I have a question for you. Why, when Sarah sings her song, I'm gonna put the pencil down. When she sings her song, Come Little Children, why are some high schoolers affected, but Allison, Max, and all little children are affected, but Max, Allison, and Danny are not affected by her song?
That's an excellent question. I don't know. Because the scripts needs them to not be affected. I don't know. I have no answers for you.
That is always, since the moment I saw it, that has boggled my mind. Like, why were they not affected by the song? Is it because they knew it was coming from the Winifred sisters?
I mean, maybe that's listen, I can't, I have no answers for you. I wasn't prepared for your question.
It's like I was not prepared for this test.
Right. Yeah. What is this? A Miss America pageant?
Well, if that's the case, all you have to do is like what? There was a map and there was the stuff, and you look at the Saudi Arabia,
Africa, and
and,
such as.
Yeah, such as are there, such as
the Africas.
Right. Okay, so we're going to move on to our segment on questions. Would you like to go first?
Sure, I'll go first.
All right, go right ahead. Ask your question.
All right, so my question is, who is your favorite redheaded witch in a movie or TV show?
Okay, so I'm, again, because you've already multiple times in this episode pointed out how fucking old I am. So
ancient,
right? I'm one step away from being mummified. I'm gonna go old school with this, and I'm gonna pick a Susan Sarandon's character from the Witches of Eastwick.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yes, and I probably will say her character's name wrong. I just remember her as Jane, but her character's name is like Jane Samford or something like that. But it's Jane. They just kept referring to her in the movie as Jane. But
I love that movie. They're redoing that movie.
I'm also kind of over all of the redos lately.
Right on. I'm gonna watch it though.
Me because that was like my first like.
Oh my god, I love that movie. Yeah. Michelle Pfeiffer was so hot in that movie. Yeah. Well, they all were hot.
A-list like nobody's business in that movie. Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
I mean, everything about that movie was phenomenal.
Yeah, I love that movie so much. It's so good. Yeah. Okay, so mine was Sarah Bailey in The Craft.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was the name of the character. I don't remember the name of the actress. I can look it up real quick. I
don't care.
Anyways, yeah, no, I love that movie.
I love that movie.
Oh my god, I love that movie. I used to do that light as a feather, stiff as a board thing, like a big idiot.
But that was done in so many like horror film type witchy movies. That was the thing, like the two fingers under a light as a feather. I think every sleepover slumber party, at least for girls, everybody did that.
Right.
And there was always the one rumor about the one sleepover slumber party in the school that got it to work. They're the witches.
Right. Right on. All right, what was your question?
So my question is what is your favorite movie with witches in it?
So I don't know if this officially counts, but I'm going to say it does count. But I wrote down the Blair Witch Project.
I'm just going to point this out. When I asked the question way back when we did Fear Street 1666, and I asked who was your favorite witch, you said the Blair Witch.
Okay.
I think that's awesome that you went back and you connected and we're like, my favorite witch.
Well, you have a better memory than me because I don't fucking remember that. But yeah, no, I just remember I saw this movie in the theater. I loved it so much. It was like one of the I'll say it's the first found footage movie, and they did such a good job marketing it.
really good mindfuck movie.
Yeah.
It really was a really good mindfuck scary movie. Because did you not research, at least I did, on if this shit really happened?
No. I mean,
Oh,
now or back then?
back then.
Oh no, back then I just believed it really happened because I was in like middle
All
school.
about the science. Show me the science. I need to know it
Because
happened.
they like tucked these actors and the actors and the actress away, and they couldn't come out until after the movie came
And
out.
they
And
gave them a very minimal script. It was
Yeah.
more direction than words.
yeah, so I just I love this movie. I will always love this movie.
I love the scene where he's staring in the corner and she's freaking out, like, why is he
Oh,
staring
yeah,
in the
yeah.
corner? And I'm yelling I remember yelling, run. This can't be good. He's not just not responding to you, staring in the story. Have you never seen a horror film? Run, girl.
Yeah, if
run.
this was a if this was a TikTok, it'd be like run.
It'd have some trendy little new song.
So, what was your favorite movie with a witch?
Okay, so my favorite movie actually connects to your favorite redheaded. So my favorite movie is The Craft.
Oh yeah.
Love that. It was like the first movie like that we saw, like Nev Campbell outside of everything.
Party of Five.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just loved it because you were like, you have this girl who had the traumatic past, like her mom died and she was actually a natural born witch versus the other three who are just practicing witches. And I'm like, right. And they all connected. And I just absolutely love like the full circle of all of it, where they were all like using the natural, it just, everything about it. I was like, this is great. And the fact that they had the whole school uniform going on and the douchebag guys of that time. It just was a very relatable yet fun, holy crap movie. When they're going through the red lights, like how many times have you not driven in your car and you're going, turn green, turn green, turn green, turn green. I don't want to stop, turn green. Like I love that scene. So yeah, that was my pick.
Right on. No, that's a good pick. I love that movie so much. I was in middle school when that came out too. I was in love with all four of those women in that movie. I literally thought I was like, I'm gonna marry all four of them. I was like,
so beautiful.
They're still hot. If you go on Twitter, you can see they're still hot. I'm like, how do these bitches do this shit? I'm attracted to all of them.
Because they're witches. There's a whole bunch of
they're so hot still.
Stuff they can do.
I mean, yeah, maybe it's Hollywood, but I was like, man, they're still so hot. They're so hot.
All right. So is there anything else you would like to add or say about Hocus Pocus?
I love this movie and I can't wait to see the sequel, see what they do.
Yes. All righty. So thank you guys so much for listening. Follow us on Twitter at BSDrunkPod to stay updated on everything we have to say or have coming up. We will also be posting this video up on our YouTube channel. So be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, BS Drunk Movie Reviews. And don't forget the most important thing of all, drink, recap, review, and repeat. Bye.
Bye, you guys.